So welcome everyone.
Hi.
Here we are on episode number 30th.
30. Wow, you guys have been hanging in with us. We're so excited about that.
It's so exciting. 30 connections with our friends, our families, all of the people that we have come across throughout the years.
And friends of friends.
And friends of friends. And we are so excited today because we have another subsection of our family. We have a scientist who she comes from George Washington University, and not
My
only
alma mater.
That's right. No,
Yep.
She's from Georgetown University.
Georgetown.
Georgetown
Sorry.
University.
That's different from GW.
Different George.
Yes, different George.
Different George. And not only is she a scientist that's focused on people and health, but she also has been playing the flute for since she was 11 years old, so a couple of years ago. And Safiyah is one of our family members as well, because she is part of the network that I connect with every day for 40 hours a week at CCI Health and Wellness Services, the place where I work. And she is a very important member of our family. And so without further ado, let me introduce you to Safiyah Murr. Hello.
Hello there.
How are you? You're muted, darling.
Hi,
There
everyone.
you go.
Hey, how are you?
How's everyone
It's so
doing?
lovely to see you.
Isn't this the
you.
way of life now? The Zoom thing.
Oh my gosh, every day.
Do you spend your whole life on Zoom?
Like most of my time is on Zoom now. Either that
Yeah.
or on telephone calls again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How about with lab work or anything like that? Are you doing anything in labs?
No lab work in particular. I do a lot of programming, like database sciences mostly. So a lot of the time I'm deep diving into the data and looking at stuff that people don't really make a lot of sense of, but I can make sense of. It's like putting together puzzle pieces.
And you make sense for the rest of us.
And how do you discover that was something you enjoyed? Analyzing very complex and esoteric numbers or ideas and data and making sense of it in the real world.
That's a good question. It actually came from when I was younger. I was in a lot of those tag programs where they mix a lot of kids together. And I was always trying to figure out ways where, as a Canadian, my vocabulary was slightly different than everybody else's, including like spelling words like flavor and color and things like that. I would have to figure out the changes. And it was sort of systematic. A lot of the spelling changes are systematic. And that's when I realized that, I sort of like the systems and the programmings and the analytic portions of how you can find, I guess, different ways to look at the same data and how you can take different pieces out and get exactly what you need.
Oh, nice. And
that's wonderful.
Paint another picture.
Yeah.
And when did you discover that music was something that you were kind to and liked and enjoyed and brought something
Gravitated
to you?
Towards?
Well, my family always listened to music. My aunt was a club owner in Toronto. So we grew up just going to the clubs during the daytime when no one was there. But we always had DJs in the family. Everybody always listened to a lot of old records, from country music to reggae to African to European. I have no qualms in listening to any type of music. I actually love it. I digest it. So when I got the opportunity to play an instrument, I actually picked the violin, but my sister already played the violin. So my mother was like, no, how about something different? So we picked the flute, and it actually turned out rather well for me. I love it now. It's one of those things where whenever I feel down or whenever I need to just express something musically, I know that I can play it out on my flute and at least get the tune or the notes that I'm thinking of.
Now, in school, did you play with groups or orchestra or bands?
Yes, in school, especially during like elementary through high school. In college, everybody goes their separate ways. But in elementary through high school, I played in the orchestra, the bands, and things like that. Now I literally just play whenever someone asks me to, like maybe at a family function, or if someone's at the house, like in this situation, I'm like, sure, I'll pick up my flute, I'll play something. It's fun.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Yeah.
Well, did you think of a piece that you wanted to start out with to play for us tonight?
Yes, it's going to be Waves of the Danube, and it's actually a Romanian piece by Jan Ivanovic. It was written in about 1880. But what's crazy, it's like one of the most popular Romanian songs that's ever been created, and people still make versions of it and record versions of it. Like I would say crooners from Frank Sinatra to people like Willie Nelson have recordings of this song, and it's become so universal that people have actually renamed it something else. And in the United States, it's actually called the anniversary song. It's no longer called Waves of the Danube. So wherever
Wow.
you go all over the world, you might actually hear it titled something completely different. So I
Fascinating.
thought that it's one of those popular songs that people might know if they hear it.
Wonderful.
All right. Well, the screen is all yours.
Okay, I'm gonna mute my speakers just so there's no feedback.
Okay. Wonderful.
Thank
I do
you.
recognize it.
It's so interesting. I did not know about that piece, that part of the story that people changed the name of it as they embrace it.
Oh, how we danced on the night we were wed. Right? Oh, wonderful. Oh my gosh. So tell us a little bit about how you think there's the connection between you being a scientist and music. Do you have any theories about that?
Oh, yes. Well, a lot of things are just theoretical. So once you have something to work off of, it's easy for you to plug different pieces in sometimes. And a lot of people think that when you just listen to different sounds in the universe, like car honkings, birds chirping, you can sometimes hear a melody. You can sometimes represent that note that you hear in an instrument form or in vocal form if you try to imitate a voice of the bird or something. And I find that a lot of times, even with doing scientific experiments, when you mix two components together, sometimes you end up with something completely brilliant. And it might not be appealing to everybody. Like, it's almost like cooking. Some of the flavors might not be appealing to everybody, but you know at least one person's gonna love it. So
nice.
That's great.
Well, I have a question for you. You said did you and since your sister was playing the violin, did you all play together ever?
What's crazy is my sister moved onto the piano when I picked up the flute, and my brother, I played the clarinet. We never played together because we never intersected in school at the same time. But whenever we would practice music or practice whatever we were doing, we would sing the pieces together. So sometimes my sister would know all the notes in every part of my flute music, while I would learn all the parts and all the pieces to her piano music. And we would like sing the different melodies and sing the different parts together just so we could internalize it whenever we didn't have our instruments. And that's like one of those ways where a lot of people who don't have their instruments try to internalize it with singing.
Oh,
that's great. I think there is a very close connection. If you're a science focused mind, there's a musical element to you, and it might not come out as an instrumentalist, but it does come out in other ways. And I think there's a correlation. I don't know what it is, and I'm sure there is scientific basis for it, but I think it's there. And there's no coincidence that you are brilliant in both because of that.
So
have you thought about a second number you do for us?
Yes, I do want to perform another, I guess, folksy type of song, traditional music, which is Danny Boy. This song is actually known as Londonderry Air traditionally, but it's another song that people not appropriate's a bad word, but people take the melody and use different lyrics to it. So it's funny that Danny Boy, which is not even an Irish tune, it was written by an Englishman. His name was Frederick Weatherly in 1913, is the most popular version of this melody, even though it's Irish.
I did not know that. I always assumed it was an Irish-born melody.
It's totally an Irish-born melody. You have that right, but the lyrics that people sing to Danny Boy are actually English.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Well, yeah. we'd love to hear it.
Oh, okay. Yay. Put this away.
Oh, beautiful. I was imagining you up on a hillside. I'm hearing it come down over the hills. Beautiful.
Oh, thank you.
So nice.
That's
But
so beautiful. It's so true how music can evoke images and ideas and emotions and transcend places. And I was telling George yesterday that I cannot work in silence. I have to have music,
Mm-hmm.
and because at the moment the music goes away, my mind just wanders off into something else. And but I was listening to it. I was imagining other songs that sort of riff from it. And so, but thank you so much. That was very wonderful.
Oh,
And you mentioned earlier about how you use music to sort of center you if you're feeling in a different way. This is the place you go to. Um, is music was one of the tools that we have available to help us get through our current situation and look to another side?
yeah, I mean, I totally believe that because it doesn't necessarily just have to be types of music. There's meditation, like classical music or rock music. There's different types of music that you can actually listen to that's meditation music that activates your binaural sound waves, that makes your brain go into that deep neural thinking. And there's plenty of stuff like that on YouTube that's not just traditional music. It actually helps you concentrate. It helps you heal from the inside. So we do know that some people even use vibrational therapy with the bowls, or they actually use the cuppings or different symbols just to actually center themselves as well. So we know that different tones, especially when we concentrate on it, brings us to a piece that we actually resonate with. And I feel like there's a lot of things that, because we become out of balance, we don't resonate with a lot of things. And when we listen to music, it sort of puts us at ease and at a place where we don't necessarily have to fight being in harmony with things.
wow. So in a sense, you're describing music as a therapeutic healing art
Yes.
in many ways, as well as a celebratory uh, phenomenon. Well, it is so nice to finally meet you. Of course, I'm meeting you virtually, but I can't wait to when we can actually see each other in person.
I would
And,
love that.
and
Yeah, absolutely. And I think I love the idea of understanding who you are, right, as a person, and knowing that we might be at a moment of disbalance, but there's an opportunity there to reach that centering, as you mentioned, through whatever it might that be, whether it's deep sounds or rock music or whatever it is. But as long as there is an opportunity to marry the two, I think that's wonderful. um, I'm so excited to hear her play. I'm very excited to share that with our friends and families, and I
because
cannot wait.
Safiyah in a whole different setting.
I
That's
know her from work, and I know her as a scientist who provides us with data that allows us to make
really
really
good
specific
decisions.
decisions,
Oh.
and in a setting that is very different from. And what I think the dichotomy here is that when you think of scientists, you think of this very sort of
Serious.
sterile setting that's devoid of creativity and feeling, and it's the opposite.
Yeah.
Creativity is what leads to solutions and to creative opportunities to arrive to the bright answers to all the difficult questions that we're in today, especially in our field of public health. And we cannot understand how we're doing without the kind of work that you do, that give us not just the metrics, but the guidelines of where we go next.
Well, can I just say your presence just makes me smile.
Oh,
And
you're so
it was a long, challenging week, and this was a beautiful way to have my week kind of nice end on a beautiful note. So thank
you guys are
you.
so sweet. I love doing this. It was one of those things where I was like, oh, I was nervous at first, but then Jose Luis was like, you can do it. And I was like, oh, he always encourages us, even at work. He totally encourages everybody, and he makes us believe in ourselves. So I knew I could do it, and he trusted me too.
I know.
Well done.
100%. And thank you for all of you at home. Stay safe. And we're looking forward to seeing you at the next Music Connection. So stay tuned.
Bye, Safiyah.
Bye.